I'm only one call away.
Hello everyone. One of our subjects, which is organizational behavior, requires us to select an organization for the observation purpose. We need to choose 3 topics from textbook to do the observation. The topic that we choose is Chapter 2, Individual Behavior, Personality and Values. Chapter 4, Workplace, Emotional Attitude and Stress. And Chapter 9, Communication in Teams and Organization. Observation 1. Main focus on this observation is individual behavior. Did you know what is individual behavior? Individual behavior is how individuals behave at workplace, how their behavior is influenced by their attitude, personality, perception, value, and... From the observation, employees are emotional as they are easily affected by surrounding environment. There are 4 factors that affect individual behavior in Mars models, which is employees' motivation, employees' ability, role perception, and situation factors. Thus, by using the Mars model, we can measure the factors that affect individual behavior and taking the precaution steps to prevent mischief from happening within the organization. Employee motivation. Employee motivation is the most powerful emotion that employees bring to work each day. Based on our observation, employees from company X understand that in this chaotic environment of full competitors, the business achievement relies upon workers utilizing their full abilities. Next, ability. Employee ability can be defined as the transferable skills needed by an individual to have a good technical understanding on subject knowledge. From my observation, employees in company X need to polish their interpersonal skills, as these skills they will use to interact with their customers. Employees need to have eager and willing to add to their knowledge base and skills. From what we can see, when observing company X environment, we realize that the employees will deal with a different type of customers that have a different personality and styles. Thus, the employees need to find real quick information to adapt the situation and reuse existing experience when dealing with the same type characteristic of the customers. In this situation, the employee can enhance their problem-solving skills and become self-reliant employees in the future.
Third is role perceptions. Role perception refers on how they perform their jobs well and clearly understand the job duties assigned to or expected of them. This model have exists from role clarity to role ambiguity. Based on our observation, there are 3 forms of role clarity. First is understand the priority of their various tasks and performance expectations. Based on our observation, the company's employee clearly understood their job duties that been assigned or consequences for which they are accountable to them. When the customer approached them, asked about what are the product's specialty, they smile and serve the customer politely and know what type of the product that the customer would prefer or will match with the customer taste. Second is understand one of the form as they have clear perception and understand their own specific duties. This type of behavior also can make the customer feel that the employees are taking their job seriously, and we can saw that the employees are very straightforward with their jobs. And they also try to engage conversation so that the customer will eventually relax and enjoy picking up and try the product that they want to buy. Understanding the preferred behaviors and procedures for accomplishing the task. For an example, when we approach the employee to ask about the clothes that fit with us, she immediately search and try to match the clothes with she our own preference. She also asks about what type of clothes that we prefer and type of fabric does suit with us as teenagers. This can be seen as they know where to direct their effort. They perform work more accurately and efficiently as they know about the type and brand that we would prefer. Lastly is situational factor. A situational factor refers to conditions beyond the employee's immediate control that constrain or facilitate behavior and performance. This is because individual behavior and performance also depend on the situation. Based on the situation, employees' behavior was motivated, skilled, and knows their role obligations to their own departments of products. They keep the place always clean and pleasant to the eyes. Based on what we observe, even though there are many customers around them, they stick to their own place of product or department as they keep the place from having any case.
Observation 2. Main focus on this observation is about attitude. The definition of attitude is represent cluster of belief, assesses feeling, and the behavior intention towards a person, object, or event. This is type of attitude. Belief. Belief is something that what you believe to be true. Belief is normally appear non-conscious. And it also influence from emotional based on our surrounding. Normally, something happen without we realize. Based on our observation, we can see the employee at fast food restaurant had high of belief with working at there. The probability of the fast food restaurant to be robbed is lower. This is because customer keep coming and also the staff at fast food restaurant also many. Therefore, because of their belief is have effect the attitude during the work.
Next is we observe about stress and emotion in the workplace. First, what is stress? Stress is pressure or tension exerted on a material object. What is emotion? Emotion is instinctive feeling as distinguished from reasoning or knowledge. This is the result from my observation at company A. The workers can manage their stress and emotion even I have ordered more than one menu. The workers also satisfied with her job because she is still smiling while do her job. She can perceive job characteristics as a cashier, work environment, and emotional experience at work. From this job satisfaction, it can increase customer satisfaction and profitability because it affects mood that lead to positive behaviors towards customer and reduce workers turnover that resulting in more consistent and familiar service. The workers still try to remember what I ordered even she is a little bit confused. This is the conclusion from the observation. The workers can manage their stress even the customer order as much as they want. Emotion on workplace also must be stable all the time because customer will come to buy the product of the company if the services is good. Workers is the one of the asset of the company. That's why company must hire the right person to join their company. Stress and emotion can be controlled by yourself even it is affected by surrounding. Positive emotion in the workplace help workers obtain favorable outcomes including achievement, job enrichment, and higher quality content. The company must hire workers that like her job and can enjoy while doing their job.
Observation 3. Main focus for the observation is communication. Communication is the process by which information is transmitted and understood between two or more people. The importance of communication: 1. Complete task or work. 2. We can learning knowledge. 3. We can make a better decision. And lastly, we support well-being. What we got from this observation? We do this observation for bank XXX. Based on our observation at bank XXX on 14 April 2017 from 9 AM until 10 AM, we had observed how the process of communication can be transmitted between the bank XXX employee and the customer. Arrived at 8:45 AM, the bank not open yet. We saw that they had a talk or motivation support before they start the working hour. At 9 a.m., they opened up the bank and had a few customers come in. When we come in the bank, we are welcomed by a security guard and approach us to ask for our business to the bank XXX. We are warmly welcomed and held up until our number was called. While waiting, the security guard gave soya milk to all the customers. Had many customers, the employee can handle customer one by one with big smile. We just waiting for 15 until 20 minutes to be called. The situation still under control. The topic we choose to observe is the channel communication for social acceptance and media richness. Social acceptance refers to how well the communication medium is approved and supported by the organization, teams, and individuals involved in the exchange. Social acceptance have 3 factors. First, use a specific communication channel. Second, individual preference for specific communication channel. And the third, symbolic meaning of a channel. While we'll do the observation, Bank XXX does not use factor 1. But for factor second and third, they provide in Bank XXX. Media richness is a medium's data carrying capacity, that is the volume and variety of information that can be transmitted during a specific time. Media richness use face-to-face communication as is at the top media richness because it allows us to communicate both verbal and non-verbally at the same time, to get feedback almost immediately from the receiver, quickly adjust our message and style. Based on our observation, while waiting to be called, we saw someone with the perfect suit come to the Bank XXX and enter in office area. Come to make a face-to-face communication with his employees, also want to know the progress of the Bank XXX.
Secondly, gender communication. Gender communication is the different how men and women communicate with others. Men engage in more report talk, in which is the primary function of the communication is impersonal and efficient information exchange. For women, they also do the report talk, but particularly when they talk to the men, while communication among women might have a higher incidence of relationship building through report talk. It is because the women use more and indirect communication and also seek advice from others quickly than the men. For example, while we observe the Bank XXX, there are women customers who took the longest time at the counter that are handled by the woman employed to solve their problem. It is maybe because the customer asked for more questions and information from the employee, or maybe the employee used the report talk method when communicate with the customers. Besides that, there are also counters that had men employee, and what we observed were that counter take a short time to settle the customer matters. Furthermore, language. Language is the system of communication used by a particular community or country. Language is very important while communication because the language can represent the person's attitude. While we observed the Bank XXX, we had experienced the communication with the banker. The banker are using a good language while speak to the kids and elders so that they are easier to understand what the information is about. Lastly, voice intonation. Voice intonation is variation of pitch while speaking. Communication also important because it will affect to the person that we communicate with. During the observation, we saw that the Bank XXX employees are using lower and soft voice intonation towards to their customer. The good voice intonation also can affect the customer to believe the bank and satisfied with their service. It is also can help to increase the bank reputation to the customer eyes. For example, we saw that one of the Bank XXX employee was using a good voice intonation when the customer come into the bank and ask them something to get some information.
What we can see from the customer after that is they are very satisfied with information that the employee gives to them.
I'm only
Thank you for lending your ears.